At this time, we want to welcome you to Focus on Liberia. Again, folks, in cyberspace, we want to welcome you to Focus on Liberia. It's Saturday, and it's Saturday special, this time with the Alumni Association of BWI. This is Focus on Liberia. I'm Anthony Sear, hosting today. In studio as our panelist, we have Mr. Eric Harris, who is the chairman or president, I believe, of the BWI Alumni Association. Mr. Harris, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure to be here.
All right. Also in studio, we have Mr. Axel Tukpah, who is a member of the association, but he's also the CEO. Oh, all right. He's not. He's the CEO of Sustainable Development International. Oh, Mr. Tukpah, my friend, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting this show.
All right. Also in studio, we have Mr. Jackson J. Pay. Mr. Jackson Pay, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. The gentlemen are here and we are having a very important conversation with them. And the conversation is more about the BWI. And they have some important things they want to share with us. And so they reach out to us and we'll talk to bring them in to have that conversation. At this time, we will allow them to say a little bit about themselves, what role they play, and then we will get the conversation started. Let's start with you, Mr. Harris. Who is Eric Harris?
Eric Harris, fresh an alumni of the Booker Washington Institute, now serving as its national president. The goal today is to first create awareness amongst our alumni association and the public in general of some of the good things that we working on BWI campus, mainly to help sustain the students on campus. Also change the culture, try to change the culture on campus. We know there are a lot of difficulties in Liberia today, and we as an association is trying to be part of the solution on campus. The main purpose of this call today is to basically discuss our project. We have Mr. Ava Tukpah on the call today to discuss with them, them meaning the group that we partner with to create this sustainable project, agriculture project on BWI campus. So far, we have spent close to somewhere in the neighborhood of $40,000 on this project. We can say we between 75% complete. The goal today is to see how far we are and what we can do to complete this project as soon as possible. So I'm happy to have Mr. Tukpah on the call. Also happy to have Honorable Pei, who also is an alumni of BWI, member of the board of directors BWI. We're hoping that the conversation today will be to discuss where we are and create some awareness for the school.
Thank you very much. And let's come to you, Mr. Pei. Who are you? Our viewers want to know a little about you. Just in 1 minute, Ali. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm a graduate of BWI, specifically in 1975, and I've worked in government and private sector in Liberia. The last recent position I had was a Deputy Minister of Public Works, and on the board of BWI, I have served as member for almost, I served as member for almost 2 years. Then 2 years ago, I was elected as chairman of the board. And I held that position representing the Minister of Public Works on the board until just about a year ago when we had a reconstituted board. But the president was very kind enough to maintain my position on the board as a private sector practitioner. I currently run an engineering and construction business, and I'm a civil engineer by training.
All right. And you, Mr. Tukpah, just a little bit.
Well, I'm represented here as the CEO for Sustainable Development International. We focus on green infrastructure and primarily utilizing solar energy and groundwater to improve systems from an agriculture perspective and from a community perspective in terms of, hygiene, drinking water, sanitation, and, trying to improve the way that people farm to maximize food growth in smaller spaces than what we have now.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Again, we are happy to have you here focus on Liberia. Let's get started with the conversation. To those of you following us on Facebook, we will ask you to please share the show with your contact. This is a very important conversation. What we're talking about is about country Liberia. And Booker Washington Institute is one of those institutions in Liberia that has contributed immensely. And these gentlemen are here to see how best they can help to carry on some work down there. So let's come to you, Mr. Harris. You as chairman, I know some people say president, you are heading this noble organization. Tell us about your work and that for which you came here, what you want us to know about.
Thank you. First, we want the public to know first how much we do care and love our institution, BWI. We always say we second to none when it comes to support for our school. We have continued to work along with the administration on the ground. Principal Tanu and I talk constantly. Just about a month ago, we understood that there was a major problem on campus, especially when it comes to school supplies, stationaries, and those kinds of materials that help keep the school running. We were able to send a shipment that should be arriving shortly in Monrovia to take care of some of those problems that they have. But the bigger project, the bigger focus here is our agriculture project. When we took over, we wanted to do something that would take not just the burden off the Alumni Association, but the school. And the question was, what can we do to help sustain the students on campus? What can we do to help alleviate some of the high costs of living on campus? And the thought came back and said, look, agriculture, food, we know that food is very important. We know that food can be very expensive. And in order to sustain students on campus, we know that food will play a very important role, not just food, but sustainable food for the school. So we met with Dr. Hare and Mr. Tukpah, and we begin to discuss on process that they were implementing here that could be implemented on BWI campus. We had a series of meetings, and they bought into the idea, and we went into a contract. Right now, as we speak, everything is on campus, ready to go to complete the project. The team on the ground here is also waiting to go to Monrovia to begin to build a water irrigation system that will support the farm. We ran into some issues, especially with the situation in Monrovia, where the standard of well that the team here requested, we were unable to meet that process, simply because we could not get the machine in Monrovia to do it. The arrangements that we made was costing a little more than what we expected to have this well completed. And we know that in March, the rainy season begins in April. So we tried our best to complete this well before the end of March in order to construct this system before the rainy season kicks in. So the reason the call tonight is to create that awareness amongst ourselves to see how best we know that the school right now, because of the financial situation in Monrovia, is unable to complete that well project for us. So we're trying to create an awareness amongst the alumni members here to see how best we can support the school to complete that well for the team to go to Monrovia.
All right, thank you. And let's come to you, Mr. Payne. You want to chip in?
Oh, sure. Yes, I'm very familiar with the Food Hub project because when we met when I was chairman of the board, we met in Baltimore. That was when a presentation was made, and a delegation from, I used to be a member of the Alumni Association here in the United States before going back home. And then in my position as a chairman of the board, I was thrilled when we went to the UDC farm in metropolitan Washington, D.C. area. And this is a farm that is managed and run by our own Liberian, Dr. William Hare. And I was blown away with what I saw there. And being a part of the EC at the time, where I was a part of the delegation that went there with Aaron Harris being the lead. So we actually were, blown away with that idea, to carry that idea to replicate the farm that UDC has to BWI, where we already have a training facility for students in agriculture. We have land space on BWI, and we have the expertise right there that we can tap into. The students can be working there as well. And one of the other things that we consider was the proximity of the farm to a metropolitan area, that's the Kakata, Monrovia, Bon Mines area. And we were looking at producing so as to attract buyers to create something like a farmer's market. And that will enhance the internal financial generation of the school to sustain itself and at the same time train its students. So it was based on that the BWI Alumni Association in the United States, together with the principal of BWI, the administration, enter into that agreement. Now, I think there have been some steps taken, and I think we have made significant improvement. Eric will probably have more detail than I do, but from the board's perspective, and I'm not speaking for the board because I'm no longer the chairman of the board, but I am a member of the board and also a passionate, graduate of BWI. Just recently, we were informed of the financial situation in Liberia as it is. The school has not reopened. So I just want to also throw some light on that to be able to see how we can find a way forward.
Thank you. And I come to you, Mr. Tukpah. Your institution is working with BWI, on this very important project. Tell us, what is this project? What is the scope? How is it being done? Is it a model that we can all follow?
Thank you. Let me just commend the BWI family for the effort they have put into working with us to, make this project a reality. I think, Eric, we've been on this for like nearly 3 years, right? Probably.
Close, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so they've been, the Alumni Association saw the vision, and BWI is a technical school, as we know. The future of Liberia really is in agriculture. There's a significant opportunity there for us. And BWI has the infrastructure already in terms of being a wonderful partner in utilizing agriculture for development in Liberia. So working with them so far to try to implement, a segment of the food hub at BWI is wonderful, because the food hub consists of food production, food value addition, food marketing and distribution, all the logistics associated with it, and then waste management as well, being able to utilize those foods that are not being used, to be able to compost them and use them as fertilizer. So it's a kind of closed loop system that we have. So for them to buy into it and want to implement at BWI makes a lot of sense. And for us too, it also helps us to train some of the folks at BWI into this methodology that we believe, if it's implemented and decentralized across the country, it will make a significant difference in the agricultural productivity. Now, at the center of the Food Hub is the integrated distributor utility network that utilizes solar energy and groundwater to be at the core of the system. So the solar energy can be communal, or you can scale it up and they can even be, kind of a power provider for people in the community. Additionally, you can utilize the water for drinking, for sanitation, and for irrigation purposes, which is at the core of this, because water is one of the most significant things in agriculture. And that's one of the things why sometimes our agriculture systems in Liberia are limited. During the dry season, we have not developed the ability to provide water consistently for our crops. So we don't have those kind of nutrient-dense, healthy crops during the dry season. So this model will allow the folks at BWI to grow food year-round and be able to, market it, like he said. They are at a D location in Kakata there, being able to have a farmers market where even other people who are producing food can also come and participate. They can build a whole new market and be able to change some of the economic dynamics that's in that area. And that's what the Food Hub is about creating new opportunities within communities and making them more viable from an economic and agricultural standpoint.
And Ava, I'm just curious, how did you get involved? Why BWI? I know you from Cotton, so I'm curious.
Okay, so we've been after this since like 2012 in terms of business. Mm-hmm. And we have been seeking different kinds of partnership.
All right.
We have tried to work with our alma mater. I'm from Cotton, and it hasn't been that successful. Sometimes people don't see the vision. That's why I'm saying I'm appreciative of the BWI folks for being able to see the vision, even though we are not implementing the full Food Hub.
Right.
But whatever we do will be a demonstration and be able to show people the potential of the full Food Hub. And we'll definitely work with BWI to be able to get, additional funding or other donor funding that can make us implement the full Food Hub. And again, BWI has the resources. We can work with them to be able to build a full system so that people can see what it takes, what kind of training they can get. And then they can go out and work with us in other places as we try to implement this across the country.
And quickly, before I go to Eric, when you say Food Hub, tell us, why are you talking about? What do you mean by food? Or some people may not understand it.
Okay, so a hub is like a spoke in the middle of a wheel, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So there are different things that are attached to it. Okay. So the Food Hub consists of, like I said, at the core is the integrated distributed utility network that provides the solar energy and the water, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So growing food in the Food Hub, but you also want to do value addition. So you get a commercial kitchen in there where you can add value to the food. You can package it. You can get a jarring and a canning unit where you can whatever processing you want to do, whether it's pepper or other things that you want to jar, or whether you want to create some kind of canning mechanism where it could be fruits and other stuff that you can can. That opportunity is there as well. Also, it has something called a smoker where we can do like huge volume of dry fish. And the system has a combination of fields, planting and hydroponics. Eric has been to our project with the Bethel Church in Germantown, where we have built a hydroponics unit. That luckily for us now, we've in agreement with the Bethel Farm for us to manage about 10 or 12 acres on a 120-acre farm. So that's a wonderful relationship too. We want to thank the Bethel family for believing in us as well and being able to replicate what we're doing there in Liberia and in other places. So coming back to the integrated distributed utility network that includes the energy and the water for irrigation, for hygiene, for sanitation, and all of that. So the Food Hub also includes the smoker. After the smoker, there's a cool cube. We call it the cool cube. It's a storage opportunity because one of the major things that affect us in terms of food management is that we don't have any ability to store food. So the Food Hub serves that purpose where it uses solar energy to be able to have like different levels of temperature where you can freeze some food and you can then refrigerate some food. So those are the different aspects of the Food Hub. Then, we got to bring in the marketing, the distribution, and that opportunities for other people. That's a job creation opportunity. Then we have the composting, like I said before, because it's better to kind of create your own compost to be able to fertilize your field and be able to grow food effectively. One other important aspect of the of the food hub is the aquaculture part of it, where we can grow fish as well, right in barrels, in drums, whatever, and be able to, supply the smoker and supply the community. So it's a holistic food system that can be implemented, and that's why it's called a hub.
Thank you very much. Again, folks, in cyberspace, you are watching Focus on Liberia. It's Saturday is a Saturday special, and we are with some members of the BWI Alumni Association, but also with us is Mr. Tukpah from the Sustainable Development International. He's partnering with BWI to carry on an agricultural project that we can all use as a model for agriculture in Liberia. Let's come to you, Mr. Harris. This is a very, very important project, and it requires money, my man. You know that. So tell me about the constraints that you may be having in terms of implementing this very important project.
Ready. First, let me say thanks to my fellow Tigers who have supported this project so heartedly. When we first met with Dr. Hare and his team, I like the question you asked Alpha about why not Cottington is BWI.
Mm-hmm. And sorry, Mr. Harris, can you sit up a little bit? Fine, okay. That's better. And you too, Mr. Pitt, please, just a little bit up. Fine, thank you. All right, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when we met with Dr. Hare, and the question came about why BWI, it took me almost 30 minutes to convince Dr. Hare and his team why BWI, because he said, "Look, we have Cottington. I graduated from Cottington. We're thinking on selling the idea to Cottington. We have spoken with the Ministry of Agriculture. We have spoken with other entities in Monrovia, and we haven't gotten any feedback from them. I'm still waiting to hear back from them, but now you're coming to talk BWI. Why you think BWI will be the right place for such a project?" And my answer to him was, look, the first thing is BWI is an agricultural institution. Why not BWI? The second thing is BWI is location alone puts BWI on top of the map for such a project. Again, we have students on campus who going through the agriculture project. This project will not only feed the school, but it will train the students, not just the agriculture student, but the home arts, the home economics students, the building trade students, the electrical students, because we'll be doing solar panels, we'll be constructing the house for the batteries and for the pumps and those kind of things. So this is a project that will touch almost every life on campus. Not even talking about sustaining the school in feeding the students and also creating, Honorable Pay talk about the market. The Kakatan, BWI is right off of the Kakatan Highway. And if you have a Saturday market right on the highway, that tells you the flow between Monrovia and Kakatan up to Banga. That tells you what kind of business you'll be looking at. So there's a lot of things that this project would do for BWI. Comes to funding, like I said, we have already invested close to $40,000 into this project, and we're just talking phase 2. When we received the proposal for this project, it was laid out in phases. I think it went up to phase 4, phase 5, and phase 6. So in order for us to get to where we really want to be, to make this project ready work for BWI and the students, we need to continue to fund this project. We know that the school have invested in part of it, and the digging of the well was one of the part that the school said they were going to implement. You heard Honorable Page talk about it a few minutes ago. As we speak, it's hard to even say that BWI is not open today. The students are now on campus just because there's no funding in Liberia for the school to reopen. Since the students went on their semester break, they were supposed to come back on campus on Monday. Unfortunately, because there were insufficient funds to have the students to report on campus, the students are in Monrovia. With such a project, I show it will help sustain the school. We know that the government is providing funds for the school, but wherever they fall short, we think that with such a project on campus, it will help augment whatever the government is giving. So this project is so close to home for us that the Alumni Association has bought into it and have done everything in their power to make it work. But again, it takes money. It takes money to get these things done. So we are asking alumni to continue to support this project, to continue to invest in it, because we know that this project will definitely upgrade BWI to another level.
Thank you. And I just wanted to ask, someone might assume that, this is what you wish to accomplish. But I mean, you can better explain what you hope to accomplish here with this project. I think sometimes it's best to hear from you because you are the one who envisioned this thing. And then how do you intend to sustain this project?
We as an association, we have conventions every year. We raise money to help our school. We create other projects to help sustain the school. We have donors out there who has continued to support us. Just last year, a group out of Chicago, we partnered with, renovated the BWI clinic. Today, we're happy to report that the BWI clinic is one of the best clinic within the Kakata Monrovia area. We continue to reach out to partners that we're working with. In fact, as we speak, another group in Chicago is working on an ambulance project for us that we're hoping that this ambulance will ship between now and the end of next month. So there are a lot of things that happen that we're trying to put in place to help support all, not just the agriculture project, but all our projects on campus. And the goal today is if you go on our website, we have launched a fundraiser page on our website today. We're asking alumni to log on the web page and whatever you can give to help sustain this project and other projects on campus just to help the students. Because if you look back during our days on campus, we were fortunate to enjoy all of these benefits during our time. Unfortunately, the kids that come in after us don't have that opportunity to enjoy some of the benefits that we have. So we now, as alumni, are doing whatever we can to make sure that students coming after us will begin to enjoy some of the benefits that we once enjoyed. So please, go on our website. Whatever you can do to help support this project, listen to Ava explain the benefit out of this project. We know that it's not just going to help BWI, but it's going to help the entire Kakata area. I think Honorable Pei spoke of it also. Just the Kakata Habel area, all of those places definitely will benefit from such a project. So please, go on our website, see some of the work we have done, see what we continue to do as an association. And if it touches your heart to be a part of change, especially in Monrovia, in the Kakata area and BWI, please go on the website and donate whatever you can to help the school.
And for those who don't know the website, can you just read it out? What is that website?
The website is bwitigers.org. So it's BWITIGERS at
ORG.
ORG. Thank you.
All right, folks, you heard it right there. It's BWI Tiger, TIGERS.org, and you can go there. There is a donation link there, and you can contribute to the very important project that these gentlemen are working on. Let's come to you, Mr. Pei. Is this going to be a business that the school will make money from just for the purpose of sustaining it? Because one of you are talking earlier about the different components, like the agriculture project, you're building the navigation system. You need students who are into the construction maybe to do that, and other components, the agriculture student playing a part. Is that what it is?
Yes. Well, I just want to say, first of all,
okay.
All alumni of BWI are very, very passionate about the school. Great. We are all passionate because the school that taught us life, not only academic or trade. It taught us how to live. And that is why in our school code, a part of it that says we will work for your interest and good. So regardless of where you are, as an alumni of BWI, you are very, very passionate. That is something that is born in us. There's nobody that can take that away from us. So even in a government sector, sector, there are people who work in the government are also trying to source funding for the project. For example, when I was Deputy Minister of Public Works, I was on a panel that interacted with the Chinese government about aid and grants to Liberia. And at that time, we had just received the proposal from the Sustainable Development Agency that Mr. Vai headed. So I took up a portion of that and submitted to the Chinese government. Unfortunately, we did not get a grant. So in other words, all of us that work in different aspects of private sector and government will find a way to sustain this project by providing the funding. But most importantly, if this project is implemented, the project will take care of itself because the produce that will be generated, that will be realized from the farm could be sold. And in addition, the benefit you get from training your own students, in the various arts that will be involved in the construction of that food hub and the maintenance of it, including marketing, for example. If you have the food, you have to market it. So it's part of the process. It's also part of the process of developing agriculture for the Republic of Liberia, which is very, very important for all of us. So we need to get our hands around the project and move it forward. But we have to also look at the fact that today, as we speak, the school has not opened. So we also have to find a way where we can either engage. I know the Alumni Association is not equipped to say to sponsor the school, but there are some other things that we can do as well. And there are people on the board. I'm not speaking for the board of governors, but because I'm on there, I know the in and out of it. So I might want to even throw some light on that. When you look at the budget that was presented to us from the administration, the agriculture produce alone during this fiscal year, this quarter, the proceeds that are realized from that constituted 58% of the budget. So from that, you can tell that this project, if implemented, has a very big feature for the sustenance and maintenance of the institution that we all love.
Wow, that is significant, 58%. So that means the way you guys envision this thing, if it is in full scale, it can be a significant help to the school. Folks in cyberspace, again, you are watching Focus on Liberia. It's Saturday special, and we are playing host to the Alumni Association of BWI. Also, Mr. Ava Tukpah, who is the CEO of Sustainable Development International, partnering with BWI, is here to have this conversation. We have the website pinned at the bottom, and we also have a phone number pinned at the bottom. Those of you who are viewing us on Facebook, if you want to place a call, you can place a call, make a comment, contribute, ask a question. The gentlemen are here to answer your question. The website there is where you can go to contribute to the very important project these gentlemen are carrying on. Mr. Tukpah, quickly, jump in.
Yes. I don't want to echo what it said, but it was very critical. We are asking the BWI alumni to jump in here and try to finish this project. Mr. P just explained the constraints that the school is facing. It may not be possible for them to do the borehole well. So as many alumni out there who are listening, if they can contribute to help BWI raise the funds to be able to do the borehole well, it will be wonderful, because it will be critical for us to do the borehole well and start the project before the rainy season starts, so that we can have something going on. I understand the constraint about opening school, but this project can still be maintained and being executed while school is not in session. Yes, we want school to be in session, but given all the different things that are going on with the coronavirus and the financial constraints, this is one thing that could help the school. And just in terms of it being in place, it can also be used as food just for the campus itself, because I believe it's a boarding school and they have a significant volume or expense in terms of what is spent for food for students to eat. So this farm could be supplying the necessary food for the students. It could be, supplying the community as well. And also, when the food hub is, in completion and we have those value addition things in place, the other small farmers in the local area, they can use that expertise at BWI to be able to serve as their extension, so that they can start to improve their farming practices. Whatever they produce can come through the food hub at BWI, either to sell it or to add value to it. So there's a whole bunch of a virtual cycle possibility that exists there if the food hub is implemented at BWI, and the community, the entire community, can really benefit from having something like that there.
And Mr. Tukpah, quickly, as implementing partner, what are some of the products or produce that have been grown there at this project?
Well, we haven't planted yet. We haven't started growing, but
okay.
okra, bitter ball, cassava, potato greens, jute leaf. Those are some of the potential products that we look at to do. And like we said, this is a demonstration. I don't know the actual size because we are looking at probably I believe it's like 15 plots to start with for this project. But because BWI, like they said, they have a significant amount of land over there, the project can be expanded as soon as they are ready. So it's just important that we start it as soon as possible and then be able to, scale up to a larger level once additional funding can come in or additional input from, other resources.
All right, gentlemen, we have our first caller. Let's take that caller quickly. Mr. Kesalit Dabot, you are live.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Ja, and happy weekend and a good weekend to your guests in studio. I want to appreciate you guys for the decent project undertaking. Every time anything come about, especially when it comes to helping our country, wherein almost everything, infrastructure, from education, agriculture, every sector, health, everything is all broken down, that we have to put together at least to chip in a little bit of it to help move that sector forward. But again, Mr. Ja, one thing we all should know is that we have family, that we have to cater to. We have bills to pay. We have other debts and, a lot of other expenses to undertake. If we're going to sit and always believe that just by chipping into some of these things is going to help to make the system better, I doubt it seriously. I think there is a need for us to learn to put pressure on the government in existence. Not just this government, but government as a whole that comes to Liberia. Every government ought to know his or her responsibility to the people. So when you are elected and you are not carrying out those responsibilities, we as a people, while it is true that we are rendering some of these assistances, we should also do the pressure on our government to be able to do our part of the bargain. Because some of the little assistances we are rendering, while it is true that it might help in a weak way, but how far is this going? The government should be able to live up to our responsibilities. In doing so, if the government is doing more of it, the little part that we will bring to help to butter or to augment what the government will be doing will carry us forward. But if we sit and say we want to be doing it just on our weak ways and doing things like this, I bet you Liberia as a country will not go anywhere. We need to put in mechanisms to pressure out our government, leaders who are in power, to be able to live up to their responsibilities to help move the country forward.
Thank you.
Now, I just want to tell you guys thank you, and I really appreciate the effort, but I mean, that is just my own input. Thank you very much.
All right. Harris, you want to respond a little more to that?
No, not ready. Not ready. I think he was just giving his opinion. We, as an alumni association, non-political, our goal and objective is our school. And whatever we do, we stay within that confined space. We will let the politician discuss government. And I always say we are a charitable organization, and we'll continue to do that kind of work.
All right. He was saying that government should do more. I don't want to get into politics yet, but the thing is that we Liberians in the United States and other countries around the world, we are so many. If only each of us can give $1, we can raise a significant amount of money to fund this project. It does not have to be government. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is an opportunity for, friends of BWI, BWI alumni to chip in and do this. But he has a solid point. I believe in, people pressuring government to perform, people holding government accountable. There is a social contract that government has with the people that they are responsible for. So he does have a point. But this project is something initiated by the BWI folks, and we are looking to see how BWI can implement this project. In terms of maybe support for the school, yes, the government needs to step up because BWI, I don't believe it's a private institution. I think it's an institution that's under the auspices of the government of Liberia. So their support has to be there. But in terms of how we go about with public pressure, different people got different interests. Sometimes those efforts are not coordinated. So it's something that, people have to look at to decide, what their approach is to be able to pressure government.
Thank you. Folks in cyberspace, if you are watching, if you are a member of the BWI family, you have to share the video to another member of that family. And you also need to contribute. We have a website that has been pinned at the bottom of the live field. You can go and make your contribution. This is a very, very important project. Like Mr. Pin said earlier, about 58%, of the school budget can be funded from this project. So we need to make it happen. So we all have to put the money there to make it happen. Yeah.
Can I correct that? I did not say that 58% of the school budget.
Okay.
I said 58% of the budget that the school allocated to agriculture was produced during the period under review. So that's, they are estimated that the agriculture produce on the farm and the animal husbandry and other things they have, they're going to generate $25,350. They have now generated about $14,695.28, which constitutes 58% of what the administration budgeted for the school year. Now, I just want to...
thank you for that correction. Go ahead now.
To my colleague that just left with regards to, the expenses in the United States. I do know that. I lived in America for close to 25 years before I went back home. I know there are difficulties here. People live, in fact, I can see both sides of the coin. I live in Liberia now, and I lived in the United States. So people always think that everybody in America has money. That's not the case. But you look at it the other way, the people in this country are the ones that have the income generating capacity to contribute to the things that they care for. Now, those of us that graduated from BWI, I know that, every dollar is set aside for something in this country. But find it in your heart to contribute to a worthy cause that will benefit, because we benefited from the school. Like Eric said from the beginning, when we attended the school, everything was there. Of course, one of our years, we ended up, having some, closure because of a limited fund. But we benefited immensely. Now we are in this era. If we collect, even if $1 or $2, it will make commitment. We can set that aside. Something that you're supposed to do with that dollar, if you drink a beer, maybe let go for, maybe 1 day or 2 day beer, and that money will go towards a water cost. So, I mean, I understand your position, but let's look deep down in our heart and contribute. Government has responsibility, but notwithstanding, we as individuals who have also benefited from these institutions should also have the love so as to give back to the people, to the children, the people who are coming after us. So that's what I want to add to that.
All right, thank you. And let me come to you, Avad. Your institution is providing the technical expertise. Implementation is something you always tell us about. So tell me about the implementation plan with timeline, giving our season. You know about our season, reading season, dry season.
Right. So we have submitted a BWI and implementation plan in terms of, how we want the full hub to be completed. We have been very detailed in terms of, step by step, who has what accountability for what, So I won't necessarily break it down, but like example, the borehole well was one responsibility of the school, to be able to create the borehole well. We have already shipped most of the materials to BWI, and I must commend the school. We've been there, I think 2 times, and the products are in good care. They have it in a warehouse and it's safe. Nothing has been found missing. Part of the process is for the school also to identify students who will work with this particular project. We're looking at maybe 15 students so we can kind of share the workload around that will participate. Is an experiential kind of learning process. We'll try to test them before the project, and then as we go through the project, at the completion, we test them again to see what kind of learning was derived and stuff like that. And we also have the ability to provide some kind of certification to them that they participated successfully in this kind of process. So part of what we're trying to do is to make sure that this is an impact project. There's a platform that BWI will have to build for the water tank. Okay, so we will purchase the water tank once we get there. Those water tanks there are a lot of them around the town. And that's the key again, like we keep saying, that water part is the key. And we just hope that our folks here who support BWI can be able to step up and make some contributions to them. The pumps that will be pumping the water from the borehole well and from the storage, they are already on the ground. The solar panels are on the ground. So it's just a matter of us implementing the borehole well for us to be able to successfully implement the rest of the project. So we just hope that can happen soon. And then we can be able to lay out the field, plant some of the items and watch them grow and, benefit the university, BWI, from a consumption level and from a sales level.
And you said you went there 2 times and you have to work with this student. Tell me about training. Has that started?
No, we haven't started the training. The first time we went, it was to kind of introduce the whole project. We met with the principal and his staff. We had a very good discussion around it. And most recently when I went, we went live with the principal. He's very vested in the project. He's excited about it. He understands the impact he will have at BWI. He embraces it. It just sometimes, you can't reach to certain things. So he was not able to complete the borehole well. But we are hoping that very soon, with hopefully contributions and the exposure we are giving here with this program, we'll be able to get more people on board to contribute to complete that phase of the project and for us to be able to get on the ground and implement the project as a whole.
All right, Eric. Students will have to be part of the project for it to work, and they will be putting in extra time. That may not be academic. So is there any plan to put something in place to motivate them for them to be part of it? Yeah, we all know Liberia, time is money.
No, it will be academic because it will be part of especially the agriculture student. It will definitely be part of the training process. They will be learning new things, especially from a new project standpoint.
Okay.
So definitely it's not the matter of paying them, but it's the matter of them gaining some level of experience, because once their team leave, they will now take ownership of that project. They will begin to run the pumps and make sure that everything is in good running condition. So it will be part of their training. But just to piggyback on the question you asked, Ava, about timeline, we were hoping that this project was going to be up and running by now. The team was supposed to go to Monrovia in January to complete the project. But again, we had some setback, like he explained, with the well. We thought that at the time the school had agreed to complete the well before the team goes to Monrovia. Unfortunately, that didn't go through. We've been talking to partners in Monrovia to see whether we could find that machine to complete the well, especially before the rainy season kicks in. Everybody who we talked to, the cost was just completely out of our range, where they were asking us to pay to rent this equipment to complete the borehole well. So that's one of the reasons why we're having this fundraiser today, because we need to this portion of the project was not part of the budget. It was outside our budget. The school was supposed to implement that part. But again, because of the financial extreme, they were unable to do it. So we're hoping that we can have that well done, hopefully by next week. So this team can at least go to Monrovia by the end of the month or before April kicks in and the rain season starts. So timeline is very close. Our convention is coming up in June. We hoping to cut the ribbon for this project before our convention in June, which is our own timeline. And I will continue to work closely with Ava and his team, the principal, Honorable Pay, to make sure that we have that project completed no later than next month.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let me read some comments from Facebook. Mr. Isaac Zauro writes, so true, government cannot do everything. Mr. Pei is on point. Our experience here should teach us to support the cause. And he has a question here, I believe, for Ava. Mr. Tukpah, can this project be implemented at a public school in Monrovia? What is the estimated cost? How long will it take to be launched?
Well, we identified several schools in Monrovia, Detroit High School, Tukpah High, two other schools, and our location in Grand Bassa Community College. And we have submitted proposals to NOCAL way back, to implement these, because some of the schools have no water. Some of them have no lights. And this system with the integrated distributed utility network provides electricity on a communal level, except if you scale it up, then you can get light for everybody. It definitely provides water for hygiene, for sanitation, and for irrigation. So we have proposed this. I don't know what the dollar, I think it was probably about maybe 67 to 68,000 to implement this at the schools. But it will provide them food, it will provide them revenue, it will provide them water, it will provide them energy. So the benefits are just so huge that, as far as I know, I think NOCAL at one point has seriously considered it. They wanted to implement one, but then maybe it was a funding problem or whatever it was, it never came through. So we have been pushing this with different government agencies and the potential impact it can have. But for some reason, it has not resonated with them enough for them to actually say, yes, we implement this and let's see it, use it as a pilot to see how we can build up a system, in its entirety. But yes, it's very adaptable to schools in Liberia, especially school with just a little bit of space. We can implement the system there, and it will benefit the students, it will benefit the leadership, and it will provide some revenue for the school.
And Ava, quickly, my partner Dennis Jai is asking, he has a question here for you. He said, what is the requirement for those who want to have this project too? Any requirement for them?
No requirement. We are a business. We are willing to implement it for anybody who wants to implement it. And we can just go through it. I just want to give a plug to, we have another group called the Scorpion Investment Group. That's a group I'm a part of too, even though I'm the CEO for Sustainable Development International. But SIG is very interested in implementing the system. They have already bought 10 acres of farmland. They have cleared the land, building fences around it. Very soon they will do their borehole as well. And then it will be, time to implement the integrated distributed utility network. But maybe since we're so close to the rainy season, they may just go ahead and, plant and wait until the next season or next planting season, or probably after the rainy season to do the borehole well. But it's a wonderful project. It's an opportunity for us to get food security, for us to be able to, really export food from our country, become a supplier to different places, especially if we do the food value addition and processing, good enough. And we are able to market what we do to other people out there. We have our population density is not too strong. We have a lot of land to grow food. And then it's up to us now to utilize those effectively and to bring more, technologically driven methodologies in terms of growing food. Because if you compare our typical yield in Liberia with yield in other countries, we are way behind. And that's part of the systems we are using to grow food. Once we can improve those, we can be very competitive in food production.
Thank you. And this one for Mr. Harris and Jackson. Gentlemen, this project is now becoming a model in Liberia. You are the pace setter. Do you understand that? And if so, how serious are you taking the project so that it can be something that everybody can reference? BWI started this and now it's all over the country.
To be honest with you, we very proud of it, especially for BWI to set the pace. BWI have done that over the years, and I think BWI continues to do that. When I talk to Ava and Dr. Hare, when they asked why BWI, it was my message to them. BWI has continued to be the #1 association in the Americas and will continue to play that role. And not just that, but BWI happens to be an agriculture institution. And we think that light should continue to shine. And we as alumni will continue to show how much, not just the love for our school, but the love for the students that come here after us, letting them know that they are not alone. They have the force out here that will continue to support them and continue to be proud of such a great institution.
Thank you. Jackson?
Well, Eric said all, but BWI has always been a pace setter. Years ago, there was no industry in Liberia that did not have BWI graduates. We have always worked in the technical sector, and the school has been a center of excellence for so many years now. So with the full hub, starting from BWI, I'm more than sure that it's going to spread to other parts of Liberia. We have a very good, heritable land in Liberia. Unfortunately, we are not utilizing it to our advantage. As a result, you will be surprised to know that we even import peppers and things from our neighboring countries. There was, I think a few months back, I bought oranges in the street and they said, "Oh, do you know these oranges from Sierra Leone?" I mean, why would we want to buy orange from Sierra Leone? And what I said earlier when I went to the farm at UTC that really blew me away is the preservation method that Isaac spoke of. there are seasons for everything in Liberia. When they say oranges, it will be in abundance during the orange season. And when they say pineapple, it will be in abundance. But at some point in time, they all, vanish from the market because you cannot preserve them. And this program that I saw, and what I saw with the value added, this is going to be the means by which the Liberian government, in fact, supposed to invest heavily in it so that we'll be able to develop our agriculture. So I'm more than sure that, yes, when it comes from BWI, it has to be good. So let me use that. Let me use that slogan. When it's from BWI, it must have to be good.
All right. Thank you. And Isaac, quickly, I have a question for you here. You are partnering with BWI to introduce the very important project, the means of growing food. Have you ever thought about introducing that to maybe cooperation in Liberia institutions that have the money, like let's say for Firestone, for example, or any other institution? They might not be thinking about it. Is that something that ever crossed your mind?
Well, again, like I said, we're a business, so we are open to partnering with anybody who has the resources and want to do it.
Right.
Specific to Firestone, no, we had a different project that we want to work with Firestone with. That was to produce condoms, and we needed Firestone to produce latex at a certain consistency. Mm-hmm. Firestone was not willing to do that, and so even though I think by law 5% of the productions will be able to be used domestically, but again, when our government cannot enforce our partners or our foreign direct investors to do things a certain way, it limits Liberian businesses from being able to actually, advance themselves. But that is still something that is, hopefully on the table to produce condoms in Liberia, to produce gloves in Liberia. I know this is taking us off track a little bit, but let's be honest. We are one of the highest rubber producing countries in the world. How can we not have some of the rubber, products in Liberia done, actually made in Liberia? So we just have to look at our entire system from a holistic standpoint and see where we have some comparative advantages that we can produce certain things in Liberia that can be sold to the world. And food is one of those key things. And that's why we're excited about this project with BWI, being able to, be the first to implement the food hub in Liberia or some, component of the food hub. And then hopefully we can build on that and get more people involved.
All right, gentlemen, we've gone about an hour. Very good conversation. I'm loving it. I even want us to go one more hour, but it's always said, short and sweet. So how do we close? What we all listening to you now. This project needs money. Talk to our viewers, why they should support this project and how they can do it.
Question for me or Ava?
No, any one of you.
We'll all just shot at this.
Yeah,
okay.
All of you.
All right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's already been said. It's not just being an agricultural project. No, it's way more than that. We setting the pace for good things to come down the road, not just for BWI, but for Liberia as a whole. To my Alumni members out there, we know that we love our school. We know that we are eager to do things for our school. We fly every year from city to city, twice a year, all geared towards supporting our school. I'm asking you today, let's continue to let that light shine. Let's not just become the first institution to implement this agriculture project, but the first institution to complete this project. Because once this project is completed, it's going to provide a lot of opportunities for our school. The students on campus, the surrounding area, Kakata, Habel, Morovia, and BWI will continue to let that light shine. We're getting ready to attend our convention in June in Charlotte. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you. This is a very important year for us. This is election year for us. I know that we are all eager to come down and have fun and again raise funds to continue to support our institution. So please, the website is there. I know that I always say this, but BWI has one of the best websites out there. It's very user-friendly. Visit the website. Whatever you can do, like somebody said, even if you contribute or donate $1, it makes a difference. So it's not how much you donate, it's what the heart is asking you to do. So please, let's do that, and let's continue to let the light of Booker T shine amongst all of us. I want to say thank you for the opportunity today, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in Charlotte in June. Thank you.
And Jackson, when we are closing, I want you to close with the question. The people watching, what do you want them to do?
Well, actually, I'm not only appealing to alumni of BWI, I'm appealing to all Liberians, even foreign friends who are concerned about food production, not only on BWI, but for the country as a whole, to make sacrifice. You can look into your child's eye and say, look, I'm not going to buy you hamburger today, but I'm going to donate it to what it costs. I think that child will understand that you are trying to help a country that is in need. Not only the institution of BWI is part of Liberia. If we are going to develop our economy, agriculture is the way to go. And agriculture with value added is going to be much more beneficial. And the starting point is the full hub on BWI. So I want you to look at it as a project that means a lot more, not only for the school, but for the entire country. So make contribution. It doesn't have to be much. Whatever you can afford, it will help to start a project. And at the same time, I'm appealing to some of my colleagues who are in sectors that control water and sanitation programs in Liberia, like the wash sector. We have NGOs that have machines to drill borehole. They can appeal to them. I mean, when you are in government, you can also help by appealing to some donors that can have fund, that do have fund for wash and sanitation, because this project is not only about food, but it provides a lot more than that. So that's what I want to say, and thank you for the opportunity. I'm glad to be a part of this.
All right, and Ava, Mr. Zawda is asking, what are you guys stated the amount that you're trying to raise, and then you can conclude with that.
Okay, so the borehole well costs about maybe anywhere from 5,000 to probably 6,000, different ranges based on different vendors. So that's the target year, but there's maybe some ancillary expenses. So to the extent that from this event, if we can raise $7,000, that would be wonderful. If it gets to 10,000, then BWI is in heaven in terms of implementing this project. But with anything, it's step by step. So we're asking people out there to support BWI. Zalo is a person who has a strong presence in the Kakata area. So I'm sure he's definitely going to contribute to this effort, and he will try to encourage other stakeholders to do the same. But those members of the BWI Alumni Association, you have already been giving to the organization. We know that. But this is something where you just right at that point where you need to finalize to get over the hump. So it would be wonderful if they can contribute again to make this happen, for us to be able to drill the borehole well and start to implement the project. We have a long way to go, and hopefully this is just the beginning of a partnership, and BWI will be as the flagship implementation of the food hub, where we can start to train people. These people can go even do their own businesses, working in other communities from a food hub perspective, and make it a national thing where we can build our food security. We can be able to export food and increase our foreign exchange situation, cut down on importing food from, Guinea pepper, bitter boy, all those things. We don't need to import them from other places. We can grow them right in Liberia, and they can be very nutritious and help our people. So we just want to appeal to everybody out there who's watching, or if you can share this after the fact to other people, or you talk to other people, just encourage them to contribute to this project. Let's have one signature project in place that we can build on and move on to other projects. Thank you.
And Avad, I have a question here before we leave. I want to squeeze the one in from Mr. George Toto. He said, Mr. Toba, do you have a solar panel system, or are you thinking about lighting classroom as part of the Sustainable Development Project?
Well, like I said earlier, we do have solar panels over there, and you can scale it up. So let's say BWI was having an energy problem, we can get additional panels to be able to provide energy for the classrooms as well. And that was one of the things with the different projects relating to this. You can definitely squeeze in some communal activity. And that was one of the things about Tukpah High. I want to visit at Tukpah High. I mean, the lights are very dim. The bathrooms, they got to put in like drums of water, and so this project serves a lot of purpose. It provides energy, it provides water, and it can help you grow food all year round and efficiently. So to the point that people can recognize this and we can implement it, probably even across the country, it will be a wonderful thing.
All right, gentlemen, we can't thank you enough for coming to explain about this very important topic. Anytime you feel the need to come back here and focus on Liberia, we will be glad to host you, because here we educate, we elevate, we promote all things Liberia. Thank you for doing that, and it was nice having you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right. All right. And so, folks, in cyberspace, this is how we come to the end of our broadcast. Please share the video, tell people about it. The video will be uploaded to YouTube in the next 1 hour. Gentlemen, we will send you the YouTube version so that you can share it to as many BWI family as possible so that they can be able to contribute. Thank you, and then bye-bye.
Thank you.